Oh, hello there. Thanks for joining me. As we all know, Dalaran is expensive and full of wenches, especially when the needs of this king needs to be catered. In case you didn't know, my name is King Hankshaw of House SlashCare, the first of his name. King of the Murlocs and the First Mages, Lord of the Hidden Kingdoms and Protector of the Realm. Of course, being a king, I am hardly going to pay for this myself. Therefore, it's important that the peasants pay their dues and that taxes are collected. Speaking of which, Squire, get my henchman. Stratholme hasn't paid up recently. A king doesn't do his own dirty work, of course, but sends his servants instead, and I know just the man for the job. Of course, a king and his men goes wherever they please and have no need of keys. As one can see, the peasants are never glad when the king's men show up, but we will punish them appropriately later on. Coming up to the first house, time to pay up. The peasants try to slow us down, but eventually the king's gold will be collected. These ungrateful subjects will go on and follow us through the streets, getting angrier. They are trying to prevent the king's will being executed, and eagerly trying to avoid the king's word to be spoken. It is such a shame though. You try to be a just king and give the people like Maleke the Pallid a mild sentence, even after he cheated you in a board game, but they still end up resenting and resisting you. Sadly, they never learned that a king always gets what he wants in the end. I don't get why the inhabitants of this vile city would want to try and defend it. But they will surely try and trap you in Broach Alley, so you could be stuck in this awful place with them. These are simple folk though and can easily be tricked with a jump, meaning your freedom will never be impaired. There is only one reason why we are here, and that's making sure all the houses are paying up. The Nerubians never knew their place, but we'll make certain to set them straight. After taxing the third house, we'll be one step closer to have a word with the Baron himself, since his folly of not paying the king cannot stand. At this point, the peasants will become more and more stubborn to protect their Baron, but there is no stopping the king's justice. More peasants will join the mob, and will be dealt with accordingly later. Apparently, the Baron has a word of the arrival of my henchman, and has placed armed forces in front of his estate. We fear not such opposition, and simply blow our horn of battle to challenge them all, and make sure the Baron knows we are right on his doorstep. Also, it's a sign for the doorman Ramstein to make his appearance. I must admit that I envy the Baron for being able to instill this much loyalty in his subjects, but we will make sure they know where their loyalty should lie. Once finally all the peasants have been punished for their insubordination, we go and have a word with the Baron. Being sent by the king also has other perks and small rewards, giving you achievements to show off. The Baron is a stubborn man though, and we might need several words. He'll be very reluctant to give up the big prize, but eventually he'll end up giving us what we want. It's good to be the king. Although we have righted the wrongs that Stratholme has committed, we must also set an example for other cities, so everyone will remember to pay their taxes. The king's army will be sent out to deal with leftover peasants who refuse to cooperate, and the city will be torched. We will be sure to carry out this punishment over and over again until the message is clear to everyone. Of course, we also have to sell off the measly possessions we have taken from the peasants, for all gold is the same to the king. So you see, ruling a kingdom isn't easy. We have no man in this kingdom that simply rubs his fingers together and makes gold appear, nor do we have one that shits gold, which makes it rather simple. A king has needs, and his people have to pay for that, making it a clear case where the ends justify the means. Now, begone! I have important matters to attend to.
It's good to be the king.